College English Test, Band 4. Part 2, Listening Comprehension. Section A. Directions. In this section, you will hear 3 news reports. At the end of each news report, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. Both the news report and the questions will be spoken only once. After you hear a question, you must choose the best answer from the 4 choices marked A, B, C, and D. Then mark the corresponding letter on answer sheet 1 with a single line through the center. Questions 1 and 2 will be based on the following news item. Rising levels of obesity and unhealthy weights could be linked to 670,000 extra cases of cancer in the next 20 years, a UK report predicts. If current trends continue, experts say, almost 3 in 4 adults could be overweight or obese by 2035, bringing a host of health issues. Their work suggests a rise in the number of people who are overweight or obese would contribute to 4.6 million additional cases of type 2 diabetes and 1.6 million extra cases of heart disease by 2035. The report recommends a number of ways to tackle this problem, including introducing a 20 pence per liter tax on sugary drinks and a review of how food is advertised online. Department of Health officials said they had already brought in a ban on adverts featuring junk food during children's TV programs and would be launching a childhood obesity strategy shortly.
Question 1. What is the news report mainly about? Question 2. What does the report suggest to tackle the problem?
Questions 3 and 4 will be based on the following news item.
Staring at a glowing iPhone screen in bed might be bad for your marriage, but in the future, it will be a little easier on your eyes. Apple is adding a new mode called Night Shift in the next version of its mobile operating system. The mode changes the screen from blue light to a warmer setting. It detects your location and turns on automatically at night. Studies have found that exposure to blue light at night can impact our biological clock, leading to disturbed sleep. Night Shift is one of the new features coming to iPhones and iPads later this year. Apple released the new version of iOS on Monday. New education features in the new iOS will let kids who are using iPads at school log into their personal profile from any shared classroom device. A centralized admin account will let teachers control all their students' IDs and manage things like courses and books.
Question 3. What do we learn about the new mode of iPhone? Question 4. What can teachers do with the new education features? Questions 5 to 7 will be based on the following news item. 3 Italian consumer groups have accused McDonald's of burdening authorized stores with excessive rents, high royalties, and restrictive contracts. The groups, which are backed by the Service Employees International Union, have filed the antitrust complaint with the European Commission and asked the regulator to open a formal investigation. McDonald's abuse of its dominant market position hurts everyone: authorized store owners, consumers, and workers. McDonald's has roughly 6,000 authorized restaurants in Europe that pay to use the company's branding. According to the consumer group's arguments, McDonald's charges the rents that are up to 10 times higher than market rates. These rents account for 66% of all revenue collected from authorized stores in Europe, the groups claimed. A European Commission spokesperson said the group had received the complaint and will now examine it. McDonald's, meanwhile, defended its business model, saying it has helped create the best business opportunities for our authorized stores and the best overall experience for our customers. The allegations are not the only problem McDonald's faces on the continent. In December, the European Commission announced it was investigating McDonald's for failing to pay some taxes in both Luxembourg and the U.S. McDonald's shifted profits around to avoid paying all the taxes on the royalties it collects from authorized restaurants in Europe and Russia.
Question 5. What do we learn about McDonald's from the news report? Question 6. What did McDonald's say to defend its business model? Question 7. Why was McDonald's investigated in Europe?
Section B. Directions. In this section, you will hear 2 long conversations. At the end of each conversation, you will hear 4 questions. Both the conversation and the questions will be spoken only once. After you hear a question, you must choose the best answer from the 4 choices marked A, B, C, and D. Then mark the corresponding letter on answer sheet 1 with a single line through the center.
Conversation 1.
Good morning, Dr. Smith. My name is Peter. I'm a freshman in your department. There are a few things that I'm not quite sure of, and I do need your advice.
Thank you very much for your trust, Peter. As your academic advisor, I will try my best. Just tell me how I can help you, Peter.
I used to major in English, but now I have made up my mind to switch to applied linguistics, concentrating on teaching English as a foreign language. It will probably take me 2 years to get my master's degree since I also work part-time.
So you want to switch majors?
Yes, but I've been wondering if it's possible.
Well, usually we allow it, as long as you have enough credits.
That's good news for me. I'm not interested in literature and that sort of thing. I want to be a real teacher, Professor. Actually, teaching is what appeals to me, but I'm worried about the make-up credits. I've been taking a lot of courses in English.
You usually do have to make up some credits when you switch majors. Are you okay on credits?
Not too many. I'll have to add about 12 credits as far as I can figure from my transcript. Would you please let me know how many credits are required to get a master's degree, sir?
Usually 36 credits are needed. If you take 5 courses per term, you'll have enough credits just after 2 semesters. Usually each course is worth 3 credits. To get the 6 remaining credits, you either prepare a thesis or take 2 more courses.
I'm afraid I might find that course load a little too heavy. But now I have a clear idea. Thank you very much for your help, Professor.
Well, many students carry a lighter load, especially in the first term.
Is there anything else besides the 36 credits for the masters?
You have to have an oral defense.
I see. All this about credits was so complicated, but now I have more confidence. I really appreciate your help, Professor.
Glad I can help. Good luck, Peter.
Questions 8 to 11 are based on the conversation you have just heard. Question 8. Why does the man resort to the woman? Question 9. What is the woman's profession? Question 10. Why does the man want to take up teaching English as a foreign language? Question 11. How soon could the man get a master's degree if he takes 4 courses per term?
Conversation 2.
Have you noticed the new dustbin downstairs at the entrance of the main building?
Yeah, of course. It looks funny, though, like a battery. What's it for? Is it really for garbage?
Not really. Actually, it's a dustbin for used batteries.
Used batteries? What do you mean by that? Why do we need a special dustbin for used batteries?
Well, there are still a lot of heavy metals left in used batteries, so by recycling the batteries, we can not only make full use of the metals left, but also prevent the environment from being polluted.
Oh, I see. Can this work? Our efforts are too insignificant.
Even though we are not ecologists or biologists, there's still a lot we can do. The Student Union is sponsoring a 1-month program called Green Movement, which is aimed at making more and more students aware of serious environmental problems we are facing now.
It sounds quite exciting. Green movement. What, for example, can I do?
Well, quite a lot. For one thing, you can stop using those plastic meal boxes and disposable wooden chopsticks. Plastic meal boxes do great harm to the environment, and disposable chopsticks are a big waste of forest resources. Well, there will be a lecture tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. You may attend if you are interested.
Tomorrow afternoon. Let me think. Yeah, I happen to be free. I will go there.
Questions 12 to 15 are based on the conversation you have just heard.
Question 12. What is the new dustbin for, according to the conversation? Question 13. What are the 2 speakers doing? Question 14. What is the purpose of the Green Movement? Question 15. What will the woman do tomorrow afternoon?
Section C. Directions. In this section, you will hear 3 passages. At the end of each passage, you will hear some questions. Both the passage and the questions will be spoken only once. After you hear a question, you must choose the best answer from the 4 choices marked A, B, C, and D. Then mark the corresponding letter on answer sheet 1 with a single line through the center. Passage 1.
Do you remember a time when people were a little nicer and gentler with each other? I certainly do, and I feel that much of the world has somehow gotten away from that. Too often I see people rushing into elevators without giving those inside a chance to get off first, or never saying thank you when others hold a door open for them. We get lazy, and in our laziness, we think that something like a simple thank you doesn't really matter, but it can matter very much. The fact is that no matter how nicely we dress or how beautifully we decorate our homes, we can't be truly elegant without good manners, because elegance and good manners always go hand in hand. In fact, I think of good manners as a sort of hidden beauty secret. Haven't you noticed that the kindest, most generous people seem to keep getting prettier? It's funny how that happens, but it does. Take the long-lost art of saying thank you. Like wearing a little makeup or making sure your hair is neat, getting into the habit of saying thank you can make you feel better about yourself. Good manners add to your image, while an angry face makes the best-dressed person look ugly.
Questions 16 to 18 are based on the passage you have just heard. Question 16.
What is the passage mainly about?
Question 17.
What does the speaker say about people of the past?
Question 18.
According to the speaker, how can we best improve our image?
Passage 2.
Go to the playground and have fun, parents will often say to their kids. But they should remember playgrounds can be dangerous. Each year, about 200,000 children end up in hospital emergency rooms with playground injuries. Many injuries involve falls from too high equipment onto too hard surfaces. Nearly 70% of the injuries happen on public playgrounds. Recent studies show they may be badly designed, their protective surfaces are inadequate, and their equipment is poorly maintained. Parents should make sure that the equipment in the playground is safe and that children are playing safely. Last year, the National Programme for Playground Safety gave the nation's playgrounds a grade of C for safety after visiting more than 3,000 playgrounds nationwide. Parents should watch closely. They should always be within shouting and running distance of their children. Young children don't understand cause and effect, so they may run in front of moving swings. They're also better at climbing up than getting down, so they may panic at the top of a ladder. It's important for children to know you're watching them. Once they feel that sense of security, that's when they can be creative.
Questions 19 to 21 are based on the passage you have just heard. Question 19.
What is the cause of playground injuries?
Question 20.
What should parents do to prevent playground injuries?
Question 21.
What does the speaker say about young children?
Passage 3.
For 25 years, I was a full-time thief, specializing in picking pockets. Where I come from in southeast London, that's an honorable profession. Anyone can break in a house and steal things, but picking somebody's pocket takes skill. My sister and I were among the most successful pickpocket teams in London. We worked hotel and theater lobbies, airports, shopping centers, and restaurants. Now we don't steal anymore, but this crime is worldwide. Here's how to protect yourself. Professional pickpockets do not see victims, only handbags, jewels, and money. Mothers with babies, the elderly, the disabled are all fair game. My preferred target was the lone female, handbag at her side. The right side, to be exact, so if I'm next to her, I can reach it cautiously with my right hand across my body. Only about one woman in 1,000 carries her bag on the left, and I tended to steer clear of them. Women whose bags are hanging in front of them are tricky for the pickpocket, as there isn't a blind side. If you want to make it even harder, use a bag with handles rather than a strap. For men, one of the best places to keep a wallet is in the back pocket of tight trousers. You'll feel any attempts to move it. Another good place is in the buttoned-up inside pocket of a jacket. There's just no way in. Even better, keep wallets attached to a cord or chain that is fastened to a belt. A pickpocket needs targets who are relaxed and off guard. The perfect setting is a clothing store. When customers wander among the racks, they are completely absorbed in the items they hold up. The presence of a uniformed security guard is even better. A false sense of security makes a pickpocket's job much simpler.
Questions 22 to 25 are based on the passage you have just heard. Question 22.
Why does the speaker say that picking somebody's pocket is an honourable profession in southeast London?
Question 23.
According to the speaker, who is most likely to become a victim of pickpockets?
Question 24.
In the speaker's opinion, what's the best place for a man to keep his wallet?
Question 25.
What is the perfect setting for picking pockets, according to the speaker?
This is the end of listening comprehension.